You are watching the Doctalk show.
Given the fact that non-communicable diseases are on the rise and they're very expensive to manage, it is important that we can protect ourselves and prevent our people or our families, our communities from contracting these diseases. How do we do that? We'll find out from our special guest this evening, Dr. Atwine, to tell us more about prevention of non-communicable diseases. Dr. Atwine, how can people prevent getting these deadly diseases?
Prevention can be primary, it can be secondary, or it can be tertiary. The primary prevention is to make sure that you avoid the risk factors we talked about. Tobacco, please quit.
Or do not start.
Or if you haven't started, do not get into taking tobacco, smoking tobacco. Alcohol, if you are taking, stop. If you haven't, don't even go there. If you have been involved in lifestyle, that sedentary, start being active. Do regular checkup, because if you do regular checkup and you have any risk, especially those people who are predisposed, who have familial history, those are people that should really be very serious on regular checkup. If you do regular checkup, then you are able to detect even if it is coming early, if you are maybe high blood pressure, maybe sugar. Then once you detect early, you go for treatment.
So the primary prevention is mainly focused on people who are otherwise normal, but they are aware of the risk factors, they prevent them.
They prevent them.
So that they do not get the diseases. So avoiding alcohol,
Yes.
tobacco smoking, having healthy diets, and doing exercise.
Yes.
The big four, preventing those four risk factors can greatly reduce one's chance of getting
Now, those of you who
disease.
go for checkup and you find by chance you have high cholesterol, you have high blood sugar, hypertension, then start taking precautions. To some, you may not need to take medicines. If you do exercise alone, can reduce sugar, it can reduce hypertension, can reduce cholesterol. But to some, if you have high levels of cholesterol or sugar, then it is very important that one takes medicine. And by starting medicine, these are chronic illnesses that one must adhere to treatment. If you don't adhere to treatment and you don't follow the doctor's direction, what they direct you to do, then the disease will grow now. Diabetes will grow, it will damage the organs, cholesterol will continue and cause you heart diseases. So the secondary prevention is to make sure that if in case they find some illness at earlier stage, it can be also prevented. You take medicines and
early.
control it.
So that it doesn't go, it doesn't increase in size.
But even when it goes beyond that, you need also to be cognizant of the other complications that can arise with, for example, if you are diabetic and you do not even take your medicines regularly, you don't watch your diet, even when you are diabetic, that diabetes will be complicated. It will start affecting your eyes, your nerves, your kidney, and then you get kidney failure. So in order to prevent all these complications of these diseases, you need to be conscious of all those risk factors that increase the diseases, and you take the medicines properly, and you go back for checkup, because there are some people who take medicines. Once medicines are over, they think they have finished the dose and go home and sleep. That is very dangerous.
They actually forget these diseases. You have to take medicines for a long time.
Yes.
Most often for their lives.
Yes.
Something like pressure or diabetes,
Yeah.
most often they stay with you. So you have to control them. You have to take the medicines every day. Okay.
So really, and for me, I would say that even if you don't take all the messages we have talked about, but take one message, that you need to do regular checkup. Because regular checkup is actually, it's like a compass. It will be the one to tell you how your body stands. And especially if they detect some of those silent illnesses that are subtle, that you are normal, you don't have fever, you don't have anything, but you have high level cholesterol. So the best way is really to go for checkup. The ladies should go and do regular check, the pap smear for cervical cancer. You check your breast regularly to make sure that you don't have any lump in your breast. The men, once you're above 40, my friend, you better go and they check your prostate regularly, because that is a silent killer. It is one of the commonest killers of men.
It's the most common cancer in men.
Yes, in men. So we need really to have this culture inculcated in us. And by doing so, you'll help your family, you'll help yourself, and you'll help your country.
I think also people should think of screening as an investment.
Yes.
They're investing in their health. It will save you a lot if you spend that little amount of money to go and check for a cancer.
Yeah.
Or let's say to have a blood sugar test, or to check that pressure. It will save a lot compared to when you discover it 10 years later, when it has, for example, caused a stroke, and suddenly the family resources are finished. They have spent the money in hospital care, the money in hiring physiotherapists, or managing all the complications. So I think people should look at it as an investment opportunity, because prevention it has been proved it has economic benefit. It makes more economic benefit to prevent a disease than to actually treat it. And I want to talk a bit more about the diets and the physical exercises. People do not know just how much they should be like exercising, or what kind of foods they can eat. So the recommended amount of exercise that you should be doing each day is about at least 30 minutes of a high intensity exercise. What does this mean? These exercises which increase your heart rate, they make you sweat a bit. For example, jogging, running, or doing an active sport. It is recommended 30 minutes every day. Let's do a high intensity exercise. This will help reduce the weight, so help burn that excess fat, and therefore you're treating the obesity, or treating the high blood pressure, or the diabetes. Coming to diet, diet appears to be it is an elusive, I would call it a big deception. Many people think exercise alone is enough, but diet goes concurrently with exercise. So
yeah,
we have to watch.
You are very true, because there are some people who go to the gym. After the gym, they go and eat 1 kilo of pork
and have a beer or
and
something.
5 bottles of beer, and that is dangerous, really. So those things should go hand in hand. You do exercise, you watch your input, because you see what makes us really put on weight is because our input is much more than the energy expenditure. Once the energy expenditure is much less compared to what we've taken, especially if in our diet we take a lot of carbohydrates that have a high source of sugar, then we are likely to add weight. But if we watch our diet, but also do exercise, then we'll be able to control the weight.
Okay, so we want to thank our Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, for taking us through the topic of non-communicable diseases, reminding us that we need to address the 4 big risk factors. That is alcohol, tobacco, physical inactivity, and unhealthy diets. These 4 factors promote non-communicable diseases such as heart disease, strokes, high blood pressure, or diabetes. So if we can address those 4 big risk factors, there are others, but these are the 4 biggest. Involve yourself in more physical activities, eat healthy, do not smoke, reduce that alcohol, then together we can fight off non-communicable diseases. So we'll see you on the 14th of July at the Kololo Independence Grounds. We hope you will have a fun-filled day that day with His Excellency the President. Please come with your training shoes or your shorts and vests. Make sure you're fit for the day of fitness. And it shouldn't just be one day, it should be for the rest of your life. Engage your family, engage your community in physical activity. We'll see you next time on the Doctalk Show.